y'all. Happy Tuesday. It is Growth Group with Dr. Erica Knight. I'm so excited to be here with you. Now, I'm going to tell you the real lowdown, the real truth. I was a bit tired today, but I knew I had to show up for you because really all I wanted to do was lay down and watch some Netflix because it's been a really, really long day. But you know what? I couldn't fake out on y'all. Had to show up. So, welcome to this episode of Growth Group with Dr. Erica. You know, you can find me here on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm excited to be here, happy to have you. And we're going to be in and out, but we're talking about something really important. Tonight, we're talking about what is a virtual mental health visit like? You might be like, why are we talking about this? Well, number one, people ask me all the time. As you know, I do have a telepsychiatry practice, so I do see people for their mental health virtually. I do therapy and I do some medication management and some other things. And people often ask me, what actually is this like? Because if you've never done it before, sometimes it seems hard to imagine. Some people have never even seen one of us in person, so the thought of seeing us on video just feels a little bit difficult. So I wanted to take a little bit of time today to talk about what it's actually like, okay? Now, some of the myths out there are, number one, that it doesn't work. Now, the real truth is there are some things that are really good to do virtually, some things that you really need to be in person for. Like if people are really sick and you're trying to keep them out of the hospital, it might be good to see them in person. There are some people that feel like they connect better with someone in person, and that is perfectly fine. But I want to talk about what happens in these virtual mental health visits, because for the first thing is it gives you a wider opportunity of people that you can see because you don't need someone that is geographically close and convenient to you. So it gives you a wider variety of options. And for some people, there just may not be someone near them, period. The next is it just is so much more convenient. You don't have to do scheduled gymnastics about traffic, what's going on with traffic, how long is it going to take to get there. You just need your appointment time plus about 5 minutes, and then you're good. So why don't we take a moment and I want to talk to you about what this is like. Now, the first thing is if you don't know me, well, let me tell you who I am. I am Dr. Ericka, Harvard-trained double board certified psychiatrist and host of the hit podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka. I am extremely passionate and irrationally passionate about helping you be better, do better, live better. I do that through my telepsychiatry. My books, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy, my speaking, and my podcast that I mentioned earlier. I do all this to help busy people like you. You show up for your friends, you show up for your family, you show up for everybody. You often know show up for yourself. I do this to put you back in your life. Now, if you know someone that needs this, please tag them. Also, if you know someone that needs this, share. Sharing is caring. The last thing is if you're watching it later, don't worry about it. Just put hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know you were here. All right. Are you ready? So what is it like? Well, the overall first thing is it's kind of like talking to me. If you were talking to me right now, your person, if you saw me, it'd be me, but your mental health professional would be sitting on a screen talking to you kind of like this. So I look at it as, and it's not quite as foreign to a lot of people because we're in the pandemic and people have been on the Zooms, but it's having a conversation like this. And when people are really engaged, the kind of cool thing is you can still kind of feel the energy. And the other neat thing is I get to see you in your own environment. We get to see you at home. So sometimes that means we get to see who's around you, kids running by, pets, how your home is, all of that. So we get some extra data. But the next thing is just, it's like chatting. See, it's not that hard. The next thing is it's really good to be somewhere quiet and comfortable. Naturally, it's going to be hard for you to focus in on your mental health professional, or if you're seeing your psychiatrist, if you have a million things going on. I've had incidents where I'm on an appointment and someone is frying chicken, trying to make lunches, loading kids in and out of the car, all kinds of different things. So you want a quiet, private place for a couple of reasons. One is it's good for you to focus. It's good for you to be able to be clued in and focused so that you can make the most of your appointment and you're not distracted. Part of the reason people are coming to me is usually their mental capacity is a little tapped, so they're more prone to be distracted to begin with. So you don't want to be extra distracted because at the end of the time, this is your time. You have a certain allotted amount of time for your appointment. If you're distracted with all these things going on around you, not going to be helpful. The next thing is it's actually distracted to the person seeing you. So you want to be somewhere quiet and private. That's stationary. I've had people do things in the car. That's fine. We cannot do it if you are driving the car. If you are driving the car, then technically talking to one of us is a liability risk because you are now a distracted driver. But I do want to say something else about cars. If you're in a car, the ideal way to do a car or motor vehicle is parked for a couple of reasons. One is it just gets distracting for the person involved. The next is also you're not going to have privacy. If you're in a car and someone is actually is driving for you, then your appointment's not private. The next thing is depending on what's going on with cellular and the internets, is that the platform that they're using for video may not work as well with cellular, especially when you are driving into different areas. So those are a couple of reasons I'm not a huge, well, you can't do it while you're driving, but moving cars usually a lot of times don't work as great. So it's really great to have somewhere quiet and private, and somewhere comfortable where you can be comfortable. Most appointments on the shorter end are 15 minutes, the longer end are about an hour. I do a new patient evaluation that's 90 minutes. Part of the reason it's good to be somewhere comfortable and seated is who wants to, if I'm doing a 90-minute eval and you're holding your phone, no one wants to hold their phone for 30 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes, any of that. So you want to be somewhere comfy so you can relax and not be focused on how are you holding the phone. And then you have a chance to sit your device, your tablet, your phone, your computer somewhere so that you can just focus on the appointment versus focusing on, am I holding this in my hands? Because I've had somewhere where someone's trying to hold it, then I'm looking at the ceiling, I'm looking at the ceiling fans, I'm looking at the windows, I'm seeing everything but them. And for me to do my best for you, I need to actually see you. For your mental health professional to do your best, they need to see you. So I want you to have somewhere comfy. Sometimes it's good to have something to drink because you're going to be talking and your throat might get dry. So it's nice to have a comfy seat, somewhere to drink, and some way to prop your device so you don't have to sit and hold it, because that is not fun. The next thing is we said, is this going to be kind of like talking to me now? Typically, how will most sessions end up with, there are some questions that we ask. So we'll ask some questions. We'll have you elaborate, and there'll be conversation and discussion around what's going on with you, different treatment strategies, your goals, and we'll talk about all those kinds of things. But the thing to remember is the thing that's going to make things the most helpful is if you're clued in, so you're present. And also you have to be honest with us and yourself, because then we'll have good data. If you're not honest and you're telling me what you think I want to hear, it's not going to give me the best data to help you. And you're coming to see me for help. So there's no reason to try to tell me stuff that's not true. I'll probably figure it out anyway. One of us will figure it out. But the other thing is it's wasting your own time. And our goal is to get you to where you want to be and to reach your goals as soon as possible. So I need you to be open and honest to do that. So we're having this conversation, we're chatting, I'm asking questions, you're telling me, and then you're telling me what's going on in long form. And then we'll get to the point where typically the first portion is getting this information. If there's a specific psychotherapeutic modality someone's using, they may transition, like if someone's doing EMDR or something specific with CBT or something else, then they may transition specifically into that. Then typically there's some conversation around where things are in your treatment goals, along with your plan and next steps. So what are we going to do? What do I need you to do? Do you have any homework? Is there any medication? Is there any more information that we need? And part of the reason we have this collaborative portion towards the end is also to be able to discuss and make sure we're on the same page of what your goals are. And we're on the same page as we are evaluating where you are with your goals to make sure that we're moving forward. The last portion of the visit typically is discussing when we'll see you again and setting the next appointment. So it's not that hard. If you sit here and listen to me, imagine just talking to me like this. That could be your session. Just sitting and talking, um, with a bit more structure, but it's still a conversation and it's still collaborative. So I just wanted to give an idea of kind of what it's like, what to expect, but you're going to get the best, most out of it if you are able to be present, you're somewhere quiet, and you're somewhere where you can actually focus on the appointment, and that you are working on being in a space where you can be open and honest. And feel free to ask your questions. None of us want you to leave confused. So if you're tuning in late, welcome. Good to have you. This is Growth Group with Dr. Ericka. Today we're talking about what a mental health visit, a virtual one, looks like. If you know someone that needs this, please tag them. If you know someone that needs this, please share. And also, if you're watching it later, don't worry about it. Just put hashtag replay in the comments. And if there's a situation where you feel like you missed some stuff, you can always go back to the beginning, because I told you we're not going to be in here super duper long. So we're going to do a quick little review of the high points, and then I'm getting you out of here. So here they are. So we're talking about what is a virtual mental health visit like. So the first thing is I want you to have a seat in a quiet place, somewhere quiet. Now I realize that there are times sometimes where people have difficulty or they need to move their process. And for those kinds of people, I'd say you're probably going to get the most out of your visit, maybe if you stand. That gives you a little room for fidgets, or have a fidget spinner or something like that. But sometimes if you stand and if you had a standing desk, or you may have some type of thing to mount your phone or your device on, or maybe the kitchen counter, and you may need to just stand to be able to move your feet, that is fine too. But I want you to be somewhere quiet. The next is no driving during your visit. It is a safety hazard. We cannot make that happen. Have something to drink so that if your throat gets dry, you are good to go. We're going to have a conversation that's going to be questions and discussion. We're going to be asking you some questions. You're going to be answering them, but they don't have to be yes or no answers. A lot of them are going to be open-ended questions. And then there will be a discussion of the plan and next steps and what's going on and how you're moving with your goal. There's going to be time for you to also ask questions and make sure you have clarity. And then we're going to plan for your next visit. See, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And I want you to be able to have this as an option, because it just opens up, especially since we have some access issues, it opens up a lot of options and choice and availability if you're in a place where clinically it makes sense to do virtual visits. So thank you so much. I appreciate you spending time with me getting a chance to talk to you. Again, this is Dr. Ericka, Harvard-trained, double board-certified psychiatrist and host of the hit podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka. I'm irrationally passionate about helping you be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry practice. I also do that through my book, Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy, my speaking, and my podcast. I recently had a speaking engagement that went so well. But I do all of this to help people like you, that you show up for work, you show up for your friends, you show up for your family, you show up for your community, but often you don't show up for yourself. So I do this to put you back in your life. So thank you. You can find me, Growth Group with Dr. Ericka, on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's see if I can find what I am looking for. Sometimes I can find what I'm looking for. Sometimes I can't. And as I said before, I am still seeing patients at Goodwin Medical Associates. If you are interested in seeing me, go ahead and check out my website below, goodwinmed.com. Goodwinmed.com, you can get more information about my practice and also sign up for a consultation. As I said, I do medication management, but I also do therapy for some patients that aren't even on medication. So if you're interested in some high quality time with me to help get your mental health right, check goodwinmed.com. Now, the other thing to know is the podcast is moving and grooving again. We are moving and grooving. You can find Better with Dr. Ericka on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or betterthepodcast.com. Yes, you can find us there. And I have a new episode. Let me show you what it is. Let's see if I can effectively scroll and get to where I'm going. I feel like I'm just not effectively scrolling. Hence my eyes are moving all over the place. So this episode this week is The Power of Hope and Not Giving Up, featuring Trent McIntyre. You're going to want to be on, because this is just a great episode. And it's not just great because I said it's great. But the new one came out this week. Please follow or subscribe. That will allow you to get notified to all good content. all new episodes and even my bonuses. You don't want to miss the bonuses. There's some good stuff. But that's what I got for you today. I want you to take your left hand, put in your right arm, right hand, left arm, squeeze. You can find me here on Tuesdays nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. The next thing is, you can find me on the interwebs. I won't be on next week because I'm going to be at a meeting in a totally different time zone. It's going to be super chaotic. I'm not even going to do that to y'all. But you can always go back and listen to some old episodes. But the podcast, I will have a new podcast out on Tuesday, and I may have something super special for you. So if you want to check that out, again, have a wonderful week. Thank you for showing up. You showed up for yourself. You showed up for me. I can't complain at all. So have a great night. Bye.